Sorrentino here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for Scott Snyder's new book, Dark Spaces Wildfire from IDW Publishing. Really cool stuff here. Let's take a look at the creative team and we'll get more into the book. This book is written by Scott Snyder with art by Hayden, Sherman, colors by Ronda, Pattison, letters by AndWorld Design, and a slew of killer variants. So let's talk about. So this is the main cover by Hayden Sherman. We also have this beautiful cover by Tula Lotay. Really cool cover by Liana Kangas. And of course, I had to pick up the Andrea Sorrentino variant. So yeah, this was hard to choose a variant for me to stick with because the book. First of all, the book was really good, and the covers were amazing. So it was really tough to make a choice. But this book, let me give you a little bit of the premise, and then we'll look at some preview art, talk more about the actual review. 6 weeks into the slow burn of the historic Arroyo fire, a crew of women from an inmate firefighting program are risking everything on the front lines when their newest recruit, a white-collar convict with a deep network of shady dealers, discovers they're miles from her crooked former associate's mansion when she proposes a plan to abandon their duties and hunt for riches under the cover of smoke and ash. The team must decide if they're ready to jeopardize their one sure path back to normalcy for a shot at a score that would change their lives. But this is a flicker of fortune or a deadly trap. And that's kind of where we are. So let's take a look at some preview art. I'll talk more about this book. And I think the main thing I want to point out about this book is the coloring in this book is excellent. You could very easily lose all the art under all the fire. So I think both Sherman and Pattison's work really comes through because they used the to highlight some of these things like the building, the mountain, to differentiate it from the fires. Use all these cool colors. Everything looks like this throughout the book. It's a very stylized choice of color palette, and who knows what it might look like inside a fire like this, right? Let's take a look at this big spread here as well. So as you can see, once again, really cool stuff. Whenever we do a close-up, that's usually when we would see a more normal color palette. But other than that, anything that has to do with the fire, looking at the landscape, highlighting how different the world is when it's on fire. Really cool stuff. Also, I think Scott Snyder and the team introduced really interesting characters. We have the crew here. We have Sawyer, Sin, Ramos, Brooks, and of course Ma, the leader. So yeah, this book, it was just a lot of fun. I love the art. I think it's, like I said, it really pops out of the page. I'm very happy because IDW is doing a bunch of original material. IDW normally relies a lot on their licensed properties, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, all that fun stuff, which is great. But I love original content as well. Getting really cool creators like Snyder and Sherman to do a book like this, I think it's a really good step going forward. I'm excited to check out the rest of the original line. If you go to your shop, you should get a little book with a bunch of previews for upcoming stuff from IDW. I don't know if I have it in hand, but yeah, make sure to check it out. It should be free, a free preview if they have it, or you can check out the stuff on the IDW website. We'll be keeping track of that stuff. You don't have to buy all the covers. I just really couldn't make up my mind. They were all so cool. And the book actually sets up a really interesting mystery and a really cool story going forward as well. So very excited for this. Very happy to see this. Has been a big week for Scott Snyder. Through Best Jacket Press, they released a bunch of books for the next wave of Comixology originals. Now we have this from IDW. So yeah, good looking stuff. Fun time to be a comics reader, especially if you want to step outside of the little, the capes from the big two. So thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Sundays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps. We'll be covering as much as we can from San Diego Comic-Con, as we could not be there. So we'll be looking at all those announcements, maybe do a live or two if we can. So subscribe. We'll stay on top of everything we can to make sure that you guys have all the information. So yeah, as I mentioned, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.